What's up, everybody? ODC, that's me here, and I am back with another live action figure review. I was originally going to do an unboxing of. I actually got a couple GI Joe items today, but this guy in particular was very exciting for me because I honestly didn't think I was going to end up getting this guy, just because of the price he warrants as far as the aftermarket goes. But and here's his scar that he comes with as well. This is a really cool character, a character that's a favorite. I would say a favorite of mine, as far as I would say new sculpt era characters were considered. Um, Guillotine was released in originally in 2006, and he was a part of a six pack with the Plague versus the Steel Brigade, and the I believe it was direct to consumer DTC. Colleen, hi, how are you? Welcome to the live review here. I'll move Guillotine over so we get a little bit better of a shot here. And yeah, so Guillotine was released in 2006 as part of the DTC line, direct to consumer, and he was part of a six pack, like I said. And this is the only second iteration of Guillotine, to be honest with you. I actually dig the character quite a bit. He is a former U.S. Navy SEAL, which is pretty crazy that a Navy SEAL would defect to Cobra. Also, not only was he a Navy SEAL, but he also was a former, well, I shouldn't say former, a Cobra Eel as well. So as soon as he joined Cobra, he became a Cobra Eel, and then he became the leader of the Eels, basically, and which is pretty awesome. So now we have a Eel squad leader. Yeah, he's pretty awesome. Oh, what's up, Review Spot? How are you? Oh shit. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. I appreciate it. Go check out the Review Spot. You got an awesome channel. It's been around for long. Actually, Review Spot, if you're still here, you were actually the first action figure reviewer I ever started watching. And actually, a lot of inspiration came from you. So, thank you, sir. I really do appreciate your channel. I've been watching it since, I want to say about 6 years now. I've been watching your channel, so thank you for the great content. Keep it up. But yeah, definitely check out Review Spot, guys. And he's got an awesome Hooded Cobra Commander. What's up? Hey, how's it going, guys? Oh, thank you very much, Review Spot. I appreciate that. Thank you. But talking about Guillotine here, he's got a really nice little updated design. Like I said, this is only the second iteration for Guillotine, and I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. I wasn't expecting to get this. I actually had a friend hook me up with this because I'm unfortunate enough to not be a part of the collectors club. I just can't financially get set with that. Taking a break from the okay. Zorpox, what's up? Thanks, HEC. I appreciate you tuning in, buddy. So yeah, I was unfortunate enough. I just can't really. I couldn't like afford the funds to get in with the club, and it was a little bit too late. Seeing it as at this point, this was the 6.0, I believe, and I believe 8.0 is the last one that's coming out this year. So anyway, speaking of Guillotine here, he looks really good in his it comes with a nice little display base that says Guillotine here. Looks really good. He's kind of actually his design is kind of simplistic other than the harness here, which is, let me fix that, the harness here that he has. And let me just fix my camera here, sorry about that. His harness here, and also what really makes, I think, the figure is this helmet. I mean, the helmet looks awesome, and even his harness rig looks really good with the oxygen tanks on the back and how it connects into these two ports right here. There's a port right, excuse me, I'm not showing. I'll get my pointer out so my silly fat fingers aren't in the way. But here we go. We have a port right there and a port over here, and obviously this one popped out, but I'll Pop that one back in. Lord Humongous. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I love this big, like it's almost like a big harpoon gun. Looks pretty awesome. It almost looks like a laser gun, but I'm guessing it's some sort of harpoon gun. What I like to think is using my imagination here. I like to think that since this is like an updated, like high tech version of a harpoon gun, so maybe it shoots out multiple harpoons, like smaller, maybe arrow like harpoons instead of just one harpoon like the regular eels do. Because if you know me, the eel, I'm a big eel fan. So, but it's nice to have this guy. I'm really pleased with this. Um, Kind of a cross between the eels and the Hydro Viper. HEC, I'm telling you, man, I really am. I was hoping and praying for a, and I'm not a religious man, but I was hoping and praying anyway that Pensive, what's up? That we would get a Hydro Viper in the final wave for the FSS club, but maybe in the future, maybe when GI Joe reboots itself and we start getting more figures again down the line, maybe we'll get a Hydro Viper finally, an updated one. But still dig the vintage one too. It's one of my favorites, to be honest with you. But yeah, looking at him, there's his harpoon gun, and then we can pop this mask off. Let me just depeg that really quick. Pop this mask off, and there we have the unmasked face, which is very a very kind likeness to the original, I would say. Yes, Pensive. They are ending as of the 8.0 wave. It's the final wave. That's one that comes with one of my also one another one of my favorite villains, which is Overkill, and Payload is also going to be in there. Payload looks really good. I like the reuse of the Data Viper that they're going to be using for that. So that looks really good. So that face sculpt looks really good. Very nice likeness to, like I said, the '06 version. It's a little bit different, a little bit more updated, but overall, really like it. It's nice that the mask fits right over the head, nice and snugly. I want to say maybe it's like a hair, just a hair small, but it's not like a make or break situation, or it's not a break you situation. Excuse me. Is that Ted Barris? It might be actually. That's a good call. Yeah, Crystal Ball is another one too. I'd like to pick them up, but hopefully, I mean, hopefully they don't go for crazy absorbent amount of prices. Like this guy goes for around, I'm gonna say 80 to $100, depending on where you get it from. You know, he looks like the guy from Breaking Bad. Fire breath idiot. I know, right? But yeah, he goes upwards of I want to say 80 to $100 depending. And this little belt will not stay down. There we go. But I actually I got this from a friend. I'm not trying to be braggadocious or anything like that, but I'm just really happy to have this figure. He ended up selling it to me for $40 shipped, and it's a very kind price. Yeah, Pythona would be Pythona definitely. I would love to have Pythona. I think Strident's got Pythona. He did a review of her. You should go check that out. She's a solid figure. She doesn't come with much. That's the thing. But I guess with the character design, she doesn't need to. I think it would have been cool if she would have came with like a cloth cloak. That would have been nice. But okay, so we'll get to the rest of the accessories and the overall look of the figure in a second. I know I'm kind of doing things non-traditionally. I'm just kind of like when I shoot these live reviews, I just kind of like to hang out, shoot the shit for a little bit. Yeah, I know. He did not like Pythona. Um, but here is the card read up. I'm going to hold this as steady as possible so I don't. There we go. Up, focus. Come on, iPad. There we go. And so there is Guillotine's read up. Like I said, I pretty much summed up his little backstory there, but it's pretty cool. And this is what I like. I like so much about when characters don't have names or they reveal them as classified. I just love making up my own names. I haven't thought of a name of him yet, but I'm leaning towards like I don't know. Let me take a look at that face again. What do you look like? He looks like a. What does he look like? Mad up. What's up? Or Mezzed up. Sorry. Mezzed up. What's up? What does he look like? He's not a Steve. Nah, he's not. He's gonna have some like almost like a ridiculous name, like maybe Maximus or something. Maximus Decimus Meridius, right? But Trevor, okay, I could see him maybe being a Trevor. All right, I could see that. All right, so we'll leave the. You know what? I'm gonna get the file card out of the way. Don't mind my tape measure. That's how I keep the file cards up. But I want to focus on the figure for a second, and getting him in here. Let me try and get my other hand around here. There we go. I really like the detail for the arm wraps. That looks really nice. Looks really good. I mean, we all know what basically most of these FSS figures are just reuses, kit bashing, stuff like that. That's pretty much their deal. So it's pretty cool. It works. I mean, as long as it works within the character, I don't mind it being kind of kit bashed as long as it works. Now, I got another guy in the mail today that I really wanted to like, but he's kind of a letdown. I'm gonna be honest with you, but there's reasons why he's kind of a letdown. Fit better with the tubes and the backpack. Without the tubes in the backpack, I don't think it's the tubes doing it. It's just the way that it fits. Like I'm pushing it way down on his head, and it's still kind of, as you can see on the side here, it's still kind of showing his chin, stuff like that. So that is unfortunate. But I'm pretty sure that this might just be the old 2006 mask just reused. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me. But I'm pretty sure that. Oh boy, I'm way off camera here. All right, there we go. Good enough, right? But I actually like the way that the tubes sit on his shoulders and underneath his arms. I think that looks pretty good with the mask. Very menacing. Get that belt. I don't know why that belt keeps popping up. I'm gonna have to glue it. That's what I do with GI Joes, man. I just glue everything. I glue everything down and it sits. Then I have zero issues. Like his knee pads. That would be my first suggestion to all of you who own this figure is glue those knee pads down. I glued them the moment I knew, because I know that these knee pads pop off. They're just pegged in, which is a kind of a design flaw as far as I'm concerned for any type of GI Joe. Because why would you ever want to pop them off? And if you do pop them off, you just have a big gaping hole in the knee. Why would you? Why? So I glued them down, and they're not going anywhere. So it's okay to glue some things down, like other things like the silencer and the pistol here. You don't want to glue those down. You don't want to glue the knife down because you want to be able to use it if you're setting something up or a display or something like that, you know? Like I said, the knife here is removable. It's just a gray plastic. I might replace this with one that's painted that I have from other Joes, just so the figure looks better on display. The silencer here is removable. We've seen this before, but there it is. Just another gray plastic. And it does fit in that little slot nicely. And then if we take the silencer out and oh boy, can I get that? Okay, there we go. Get get the silencer, and then we plug it in right here. Oh, come on. There we go. Now, my friends, you have a hush puppy. So there we go. That looks pretty cool, and it works within the character too, being a former Navy SEAL and a current leader, squad leader leader of the Eels, which I think it works well because most Navy SEALs usually run around with hush puppies on their assault rifles or MP5s or HKs, whatever those, those gun terms, I'm no gun savant, but they would definitely be using silencers because they're kind of like the ninjas of the sea, I want to say. Dare I make that remark? Oh boy. But really nice detail on the back. I'm glad they actually did some painting for the backpack. I feel like at least the least amount of paint that they should have done was these oxygen tubes and or tanks, I should say. And they did a good job with that. I really like the red that they decided to go with for the tubing. It looks really good. The red little details on the mask look really good. He does have a Cobra logo right here. The backpack is removable. You can take that backpack off, so there's no issue there. It just kind of pegs into the back. The harness, let's see if that is removable. I'm pretty sure you could, maybe. Maybe not. No, I don't see any peg points on here for that. I'm not seeing it. So maybe you can't take that harness off, but he does have the Cobra logo symbol in silver paint, which does stand out nicely. It gets kind of covered by the harness, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. Okay, now moving on to the, I want to say the figures, the coup de grace, but really, let's move on to the weapons, which are really cool, and we'll go back to his first weapon. Let's get him out of the way here. And that is the harpoon gun, which is, like I said, pretty cool. And let me grab an older eel for a second, and we'll get to comparison with that. I want to do another comparison. I'll do couple comparisons here with a few figures, and then I want to see if he will fit in one of my favorite boats, which is the review I just shot, which was, okay, here we have some eels here, which is the Piranha. We'll get to the figure comparison in one second, but I wanted to get some of their accessories here and just show a little comparison with those. So there's the regular eel harpoon gun, and there is his harpoon gun, which I think is a really nice touch that we didn't just get another eel harpoon gun. I feel like it sets him apart, and him being the leader of the eels, he should be set apart. There should be some differences there. Sorry, dog hair. There should be some differences there between the two, and it's a much appreciated difference. Flipping this around to the other side, just take a look at some of that extra detail there. Looks really good. Just stuff that they didn't necessarily have to do for the sculpt, but they did do it. Looks really good. I might actually add some paint apps to this. Just maybe a couple, like little silver paint apps here and there. Black paint apps for the grip right here. Maybe some silver for these little tubes right there. Little connectors and stuff like that. It will really bring some much needed life into this sculpt. But a little black paint shading too wouldn't hurt either. All right, and then we have the scar here, which is we've seen this with a multitude of figures. We've seen them with Beachhead and I want to say a Steel Brigade. A whole bunch of different modern Joes have had the scar. So looks pretty good. And here's the other side of the sculpt. All right, and moving on to the coolest accessory that he comes with, which is this bone sword. This was released with what's my favorite Cobra and GI Joe figure ODC. Ooh, oh boy, that is put me on the spot with that one. See, I would say through different eras, there's different ones. I have favorites with the 50th anniversary. I have favorites with the 25th anniversary. I have favorites with the Pursuit of Cobra line. Like, what was it? I did a top 10 about, I think, last year. And my top 10 changed drastically from my other top 10 the year before that. It's tough to say. I mean, if I have to pick one and one, so one from Cobra, one of all time, maybe Pursuit. Oh boy. Okay, a Pursuit of Cobra Dusty and probably Pursuit of Cobra Shadow Tracker. That's it. I mean, that's tough. I'm thinking off the top of my head. I love those two figures so much. And even though Pursuit of Cobra Dusty was not in my top 10 last year, I kind of exited him from that top 10 because I was trying to be basically make a top 10 without Dusty included because he's my favorite character. So out of all the Joes, but there's his bone sword. Looks really good. Yeah, Shadow Tracker is amazing. He's a beautiful figure. He's a one of the I think one of the best modern Joes available to you. But here's the bone sword. It looks really good. I noticed that what was it? I can't remember who the reviewer was. I want to say maybe it was it Joe Fan 82? I can't remember. I just watched the review about 2 weeks ago. I can't remember. But someone was saying how he's got a little baby head and a spinal column. How it's if you actually put this up to next to a actual other figure like there we go. I'll show you. If we put this up next to who's got a head here. Well, Gung Ho's kind of got a big head, but if you add this up to this, it doesn't really fit. Someone was saying, "Oh, he's got the head and spinal column of a baby." Maybe it was SEO Toy Reviews, another great channel. Check out. You haven't checked that out. He just did his Cobra Convergence 3 review of Cobra La, the vintage figures, but it looks really good. Looks really good. The other cool part about this sword is that look at all of this extra sculpting. Look at how like jagged and beat up and just through tons of battles this blade has been through. And oh god, could you imagine getting this shoved through you and then all these jagged pieces ripping chunks of flesh out? Oh god. So this would definitely damage somebody. So those are his 3 accessories. I guess total you could add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh wait, we don't count that. 6, 7, 8 with the backpack. So there's that bit of information. So maybe 6 accessories total for everything. But he is a badass man. Look at that. All right, so let's do a couple size comparisons. Back up a little bit here. Do that. Back him up. And then we will take him off his display base so he's standing properly. There we go. Beautiful. And then we will get our 25th anniversary eel standing next to him. And then we'll get our 50th. Okay. I was fortunate enough, I heard, which is very unfortunate, as much as I do like this 50th anniversary eel, I have heard so many issues with it, which is just a really just a shame because I actually really dig this 50th eel with the ankle rockers and everything. But I have heard a lot of people saying that there's issues with it, with the ankles, and some people got upside down kneecaps. I think it was Strident did a really good review on the Danger of the Docks review, and he was saying that the knee joints were actually like not touching. Mine happened to touch. I must have just got a good one, but yeah, I don't know. I like the figure a lot. I like the little bit of updates that it got, but unfortunately, he's got some issues. And that was a kind of a ongoing theme, I guess, with the 50th anniversary line. Well, I wouldn't say all of them, but the majority of them. So there's your little eel squad. And, for the longest point, because I guess I was a little bit late to the party with getting the original Guillotine, the new Sculpt era 2006 release Guillotine. I was looking for him, and it was always bad timing with the figure, but now that I have this, I guess I don't need to make a custom out of a rock body or anything like that. So it's a good thing I have him. I'm glad that I don't have to search for him anymore. But for the longest time, I was using this guy as my squad leader, the 50th anniversary guy, because he had a little bit of a different logo insignia, the gold logo insignia, where the 25th anniversary one was silver. And this guy's a little bit, you got to pay a little bit more for him too, which is unfortunate as well. Because he was a part of that Danger of the Dock set, which actually goes for quite a bit of money. I want to say anywhere from $70 to $100, that set. So that's tough. So I used him as my squad leader, and then I was using him as kind of like my army builder eels. But now that I do that, I mean, I guess I could still keep him as squad leader and just him as the, I don't know, major leader of the eels. But when you see this guy, I would suggest you run or swim faster. He looks like the type of guy that might punch a shark right in the face, or right in the gills. Gone full circle now with Shark Week. I think that was another reason for my convergence video the other day, or a few days ago, was Shark Week. I got to do something sea based. Okay, so the next portion, what I want to do is, now that I have his knee pads all situated, now let's bring in our Piranha here. Okay, we got our Piranha. Beautiful, looking good, right? Let's see if I can finagle him in here. Hopefully I can, because I would like for this to be his vehicle. If we can get him in there. Let's cross our fingers here and hope that he doesn't lose a knee pad, because I just glued it in. And come on, buddy, you can do it. I might have to do this off camera. Come on, buddy, you can squeeze in there. I know you can do it. Oh, it might be the backpack. Just have to take the backpack off. Oh, did we? Yes. ODC likey. All right. He does fit in there. You're gonna definitely have to take his backpack off, but that's no big deal. It would make sense for him to take his backpack off, to be honest with you. You'd probably take the helmet off too. So let's do that. There we go. We'll put his helmet, lay it in the back there. Let's get his hands on the controls here. And he is waving. He's hey, how you doing? How's your summer? Anybody want to go jet skiing, guys? So pretty cool there. It looks dope. I like it. I like it a lot. Mask reminds me of a Hydro Viper mask. Yeah, it definitely does. It's I think Cobra Commander said that earlier. It definitely does. Looks really good. I'm still crossing my fingers for a Hydro Viper down the line. Hopefully we get one. Hopefully. But he looks really good. He's happy. Look at him. Look at that. Look at that face. A face only a mother could love. But there we go. We'll put his gear on here. Oh, actually, let's not face that there. Okay, we'll put the gun butt that way. I'm still looking for my depth charges for these. I got a couple of them. I think I have 3 Piranhas now. So, and we got to put his sword in there, right? Where should we put his sword? Oh, put his sword in there. So, there we go. He fits in there. I'm happy with this. It looks really good. How many Joes do I have? Oh my God, I don't even know. Including vintage stuff too? Oh, that would be... I have no idea. I would have to count them, and I don't know. I don't even want to give you a number because I have no idea off the top of my head. On top of that, I have all these Marauders figures too because I gotta start doing my Marauders series. I know I've been promising that for quite a while now, but my Sweet 16, I said Sweet 16, Sweet 16 custom team. I do have to give you guys backstories and stuff like that. So there's a whole lot of work that I've put into that series, and I just haven't been delivering on it. So I got to start delivering on it. You got to get on your game there, Anthony. Come on now. You got to get on it. But all right, let's get his backpack on, and then I'll show you how I had him set up as far as his loadout goes. Itchy nose. Hate it when I have an itchy nose. Or I have to sneeze when I'm about to sneeze. All right. I'm about to sneeze. Oh, well, the other one's hiding. Okay. I basically put his sword in his back like this. So it's kind of sticking out kind of high, but it does sit. And then I had him with his go-to, which I think how I'm going to have him displayed or used is with this really cool what you call it, harpoon gun. I like the way it looks. And now my pointer is sticking to my arm. Okay. There we go. And there we go. And he looks really good. I am really pleased with this. Let me know if you guys want me to go through articulation. I mean, it's pretty much the same Joe articulation. He's got hinged feet that swivel. He's got double jointed knees. He does have T-jointed hips, which go forward, back. They do the splits. He's got a diaphragm joint, which does crunch a little bit forward and backward. I know specifically on this mold, it does crunch decently. It does swivel also. He has hinged or elbow hinges, and they do swivel. He's got swivel wrists and hinges on the... Wait, does he have hinges? Wait a minute, let me double check that. Yes, he does. He has hinges that go up and down. So, boom. And boom. And then he does have a shoulder joint, and it swivels full 360. Like I said, he can swivel here. It does crunch forward and back nicely on this mold, which is good. He can swivel his head, even with the mask on. It can do a full 360 without the mask on. And that's pretty much it for his articulation. And even though the helmet doesn't sit flush with the eyes, I think it kind of looks demonic. Because all you see is kind of like a skin tone almost, and you don't see any eyes. So it looks even more so demonic. But that's pretty cool. Here are some size comparisons with some larger figures too. Actually, let me get him off his display stand so I can do that properly. Hopefully he doesn't tip over there. Okay. Here is one of my favorite. We were asking, a Review Spot asked me if what was my favorite action figures. And I want to say, as far as the 50th line goes, oh yeah, it's Leatherneck. Leatherneck, another one of my favorite characters too, also. And then we got Gung Ho. Whoa, he's knocking the Cobra. He's knocking him over. Get this Cobra away from me. I don't like him. There we go. Another good 50th anniversary figure right there. And then, who else? Another one of my favorite. Oh, come on. Oh, now I'm knocking everybody over. Come on, you gonna stay in there, bud? You know, he's leaning over. It looks like he's got a fart. Okay. Let's get this over here. hand guy. Oh, the leg. There we go. Okay. Get this out of the way. Okay. And then we have one of my other favorite Cobras. I forgot how the 50th Gung Ho looked. You ended up kit bashing yours? Go check out Scabcat. He just did a custom review. Check out Scabcat 242. Another great G.I. Joe / Marauders review channel. Oh my god, my brain is not working. So there's a nice little setup. He's not too small, really. I mean, you know, Leatherneck is like huge because he's on the rock body mold from the Battle Kata roadblock. And then we got Gung Ho over here looking good. One of my favorite 50th. One of my favorite 50ths. One of my favorite 25ths. Right there. And obviously the Eels, another one of my favorite 25ths. And we'll get him out of here. And then I will do a little comparison with this guy right here. So I wanted to show him off. So I just finished him, I want to say a couple weeks ago, but I never did a video on him. This was my much needed update for Alpine, because that, oh my god, that 50th Alpine, he's rough looking. So there is the Marauders Alpine right there. And that's what a Marauder's body looks stacked up next to. Actually, let me get him off the display base so you can really see his height here. There we go. That is what Alpine looks like as far as a Marauders Task Force figure, stacking up next to Guillotine. Get Gung Ho out of there. So there you go. Nice, nice size there between the two. And yeah, looks really good. If you guys have any questions about this Alpine, it's pretty easy. Yeah, he does. He really does, Scabcat. I know. Looks so much better. And all I did was I kind of mixed G.I. Joe parts from the with the Marauder. Woodman, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Yeah, so I just mixed some parts up, put them together. He's still not done. He's still kind of a work in progress. I need to get a belt for his waist from Marauders. That's on the way. A couple other things. I might get a modular backpack for him, even though this sculpt on this one does look really good with the shovel. Looks nice. I actually have a shovel for him, so I might get one of their modular backpacks and just put a shovel on it, and I'll be able to put that pick on there as well. A review on how to customize. I could do that. You're enjoying the live review? Good, man. I'm glad you are. That's why I like doing these. I'm glad everyone's enjoying this. Oh my god, can you stand there, bud? There you go. So there's my updated Alpine. I know I'm getting way off track with Guillotine here. This is technically his review, and I'm old Alpine stealing the thunder. Get over there. Get out of there, Alpine. Go take a nap. There you go. Let's get his file card back in here. And we'll get our little trusty, dusty tape measure in there. There we go. All right. I did want to do, I almost wanted to do a back-to-back review today, but I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm not going to overload you. I won't overload you, I promise. So we'll just stick with the Guillotine review for today. But I do have a little special one that I have for tomorrow. So I'll probably do another live review tomorrow. Worst case scenario, I'll probably just shoot the review and then just upload it. So either way, you'll get a review tomorrow as promised. And yeah, so final thoughts for Guillotine. I think they did him right. I think he looks good. He looks like a former Navy SEAL. He looks tactical. He looks updated. I like it. I like his accessories. I really like the this updated nice harpoon gun. I know it's probably a re-release. It's also nice that if you don't like the harpoon gun, you can go with the Scar. So that's a nice little added option for it. The prices are the big killer for me. The prices are definitely a huge turnoff for the figure. It hurts the figure as far as wanting it, I guess. I don't know. When I see a high price for a figure that I originally wanted, it just kind of turns me off. I don't know. With some people, it might make them want it more, but for me, it just kind of turns me off. Well, spending $80 on a 3 3/4 inch figure that just came out not too long ago, I don't know if I can justify that. So I personally got this for what I think is a reasonable price of $40, and I'm pretty happy with it. And you know, I always try to discuss price point in my reviews just so people have a heads up. I know the market changes over time, and I know reviews age, which I probably shouldn't do, but I enjoy doing it. Yeah, absolutely. Good point, Pensive. Yeah. Flippers would definitely be. I'd probably, you know what I'd probably give him? This would be a really good idea for the character, I think. The Pursuit of Cobra flippers that came with Beachhead would, I think, would fit him perfectly. Where are those flippers? I'd have to go check them. I think they're somewhere in my collection room, but I'll have to do that. Maybe I'll do like a one of my hangouts. I'll try to write that down in a list and give you guys an update and see if those flippers fit. Worst case scenario, we could always go with the eel flippers. Let's see if those fit real quick, because I do have those handy. Actually, I have both sets of those flippers available. So I will do that right now for you guys. We'll check that out, because worst case scenario, I mean, one of these pairs of flippers have to fit, right? I would guess that's the case. All right, we'll get him off of there. But really good call, Pensive. I don't know why I didn't think of that. All right, so we got some good news right off the bat. The eel flippers fit, so that's good. The basic eel flippers. That's good. Let's get this up here. I must have fell over, so we look professional. So there we go with that. So that's nice. Now let's see if these fit. I might have him use these. Ooh, looking good. Ooh. These are the more updated ones that fold up. These are the ones I might use for him. That looks really good. So thank you, Pensive Ruin, for giving me that idea. I appreciate it, buddy. Awesome. And that's what he looks like without my hand in the way. There you go. A spear would be cool too, but he does have his sword, so I might just, stick him with his sword. Let's see if his sword... Oh, I didn't even show you if his sword can fit in his hand. What am I doing? I'm off my game today. Usually I have this shit coming correct. There we go. He does kind of hold it. I might swap these hands out with some Marauder's hands. He kind of holds it, but it's not really the best. He's kind of got those Storm Shadow hands. Ugh, yeah. So, but the flippers do fit, so that's a good thing. At least the flippers fit. Oh, it's coming off. There we go. Black Spear from Shadow Tracker. Yeah, but that's Shadow Trackers, man. I can't give him Shadow Trackers. I think this sword is very unique for him. I think it looks really good. And then we'll pop it in the other hand. My dog is... Oh, God, my dog hears people outside. You know what that means. Barkzilla's coming out. So the sword does fit in both hands. That's a nice, beautiful looking... I love this sword. Looks so cool. Very, very Cobra. And we'll do one last comparison here before I let you guys go. I know I'm going on, 40? Oh my God, 40 minutes. Also, well, actually, before I get to that, let's see. There we go. Let's see if we can two-hand a gun here, because that's really important. I'll get him situated. His arm proper. And we extend the other hand. Oh, Oreo, would you knock it off? There we go. He's two-handing. He's two-handing that scar. It's looking good. You might have to work with the, I'm going to guess you're going to have to work with this a little bit more. He does hold it decently. And I guess you could kind of just have this resting. That doesn't look too bad. That looks pretty good. There we go. What do you guys think? Looks pretty awesome. Now, let me bring in Shadow Tracker real quick. Let's bring in his. There. Ooh. What is caught? Why are you doing this? There we go. All right, we'll bring in Shadow Tracker here. It's my other buddy. My two buddies here. My two faves right here. There we go. Don't tell me you don't want to run into these two down the dark alley. Absolutely, totally badass, Pensive. Okay, now the last segment I wanted to do here, before I let you go, I keep saying this, but I can't help it. I keep ideas pop in my head, and then I just got to get them out to make the review complete. But last little thing I wanted to bring in. Now, this is what I think you could use for a custom. If you do happen to find the 2006 version of him, I would suggest that you use the helmet. And I think maybe possibly the backpack might fit. Worst case scenario, you could always use an eel backpack with him. It wouldn't be 100%, but I mean, at least you would have one. You would basically need to get a good substitute for a underneath head. Would be a Boss Fight Studios head. They make some pretty good heads with their Vitruvian hacks that are bald and do have facial hair. You could go that route. You could also go Marauder's head underneath if you wanted to. There's, as far as bodies go, I guess you could go with, I'm trying to think here. You could go with the dollar, I think it was Dollar Store or Dollar General Shipwreck, the green version, or the blue version, but you'd have to paint them black, which probably, it really isn't that bad. I mean, deconstructing a modern G.I. Joe really isn't that difficult at all. You use a little bit of heat on the joints, you pop them off. If you use a X-Acto knife on the seams for the torsos really aren't that hard to crack, to be honest with you. Basically heating up the feet, they pop right off, the hands pop right off, the elbows pop right off. Like I said, the only major thing you would have to do as far as deconstructing one to make one, it's really not that hard. I mean, when you think about it, the FSS Club is pretty much just kit bashes, and that's pretty much what they do. They take existing parts, they put parts together to make a character look as best as possible they could. So there's no reason why you can't do that too. It's really not that hard. Just because Hasbro does it and they mass produce figures doesn't mean you can't do it with at least one figure, right? So it's not too difficult. It's finding the parts, putting them together, and putting a little bit of time and effort into painting. That's all. I would definitely suggest primering your figures before you paint them. That's another thing. But I'll go through that in maybe like a customizing video or something like that. Yeah, we'll do that down the road. I do have a custom crake I made last year, but we'll get into that in another video. 2 thumbs up for Guillotine. 2 thumbs up. I would recommend you get them, but not for a $80 to $90 price point. If you find them for 40 or 50, I'd say pull the trigger, because the collectors club is going to vanish soon, and yeah, I mean, they're just going to become more and more rare and probably more and more expensive. Now down the line, hopefully maybe we'll get these figures, all the FSS figures, in a release. Maybe we'll get an updated version. Maybe they'll look a little bit different. I don't know. But hopefully they, maybe down the road they'll re-release this guy with some others. It would be a really nice touch to re-release the Plague versus the Steel Brigade 6-pack, but in a more modern look, an updated look for that 6-pack. That would be a really nice touch if Hasbro decided to do that. But anyways, 2 thumbs up here for Guillotine. I'm really happy. Thank you so much for everybody who joined. Thank you, Hooded Cobra Commander. Thank you, Pensive Ruin. Thank you, the Review Spot, which that was a surprise. Thank you so much for watching. Zorpox, thanks for watching, everybody. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And stay tuned for the next live review or the next review, which will be tomorrow. And there goes that. Mezzed Up. Also say hi. I wanted to say hi to Mezzed Up. That's right. Sorry, I forgot your name there, bud. But hope you guys enjoyed this review and enjoy your weekends. Be safe, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.